So good afternoon, everybody. So I'm glad that you are here, that you all are here basically in this, and that I truly hope that you are healthy and doing fine in this challenging time. And yes, my name is Dietmar Ritsch. I'm the CEO of the Pimcore company, and I would like to use the chance for this short webinar to introduce you to the agenda today. And the agenda will be, hold on, I'm just switching screens right now. So that's the agenda basically for today. So I will give you basically an update for partners only. So what you hear today basically will be also in a way confidential. So nobody else knows that we are working on these different things. Nobody knows what the status is and what the time of the releases are. So please don't share with third parties. This is really for partners only, this presentation. So please don't share it to third parties, and because this is really internal. So this is our second update for this year. This is the July 2020 update. Hopefully you can remember our last update when we were talking purely about our Pimcore Enterprise subscription. So the Pimcore Enterprise subscription, so this is our commercial offering actually, is progressing really fine. We see a lot of interest from them, from companies, from big businesses that would like to, utilize our Pimcore Enterprise subscription because they need to have service level agreements, they need to have service or long-term support and these kind of things. But of course, we would like to make this enterprise subscription, besides the open source offering, even more attractive. And therefore, we would like to talk a little bit more about the Pimcore Enterprise extensions today as the first piece. So these are added functionalities to the enterprise subscription and provide additional functionalities. Then I would like to give you a little overview about the service level agreement that we have created now for partners. We will introduce that in the we will introduce that today, but it will be released in the next few weeks to the partners. So that's about providing services and guidance basically to partners. So a lot of partners regularly contact us. They want to have, certain information about different Pimcore topics, such as the optimal way for deployment, for example. They want to have core support and these kind of things. So that's what I would like also to touch on. Then, of course, a little bit news from the Pimcore Academy. And then I would like to shortly talk about the virtual Inspire conference. You will fully understand that probably. So we are in difficult times, COVID-19 and all of this shit basically that is currently happening. Of course, we cannot do a traditional conference this year. So it will be a virtual conference, and we will talk about this a little bit later on. So this is the agenda for today. We won't be needing actually 30 minutes, so it will be a little bit shorter. As Antoine told you, if you have any questions, just write them in the webinar software, and then we will answer them after the calls individually, because I just see that there are 92 participants currently from different partners attending the webinar. So it's too much basically to answer all of your questions probably during this call. So we will do that afterwards. So let's step in, and I would like to give you a little introduction to the Pimcore Enterprise extensions. So what are we working on? Of course, we are working on the core of Pimcore. You know that. We are working on the core of Pimcore in terms of the open source release, the Pimcore Community Edition. We keep that up to date. Of course, we are also working on the Pimcore 7 platform already, and we are doing some major things in that regards, and it really progresses very well. Today I don't want to talk about the open source release, because that's what you can also follow via GitHub, and I will do a little update given on the Pimcore open source edition the next webinar. But today I would like to talk about the Pimcore Enterprise extensions. And so what are actually Pimcore Enterprise extensions? These are additional enterprise features for subscribers of the enterprise subscriptions. So basically, from the last webinar that we have a commercial offering, which is called the enterprise subscription, which is basically the same version as the open source version of Pimcore, but additionally, you have long-term support, you have support agreements, and you have access to these enterprise extensions. So that's what you've got. So these extensions are only available for subscribers of the enterprise subscription, and basically you guys get 10% off of these prices, and you can, of course, if you resell them to your clients. And we will open up the partner enterprise extension marketplace, which will be an editorial powered marketplace starting in late 2020, where we have something like the, like the Apple App Store, where you can really distribute your extensions. And we see a big interest in terms of the community to also, publish enterprise extensions and really sell those enterprise extensions, also with support and also with all additional services that you might have. So that's basically what are the enterprise extensions all about. So it's it's extensions for the enterprise subscription. And when we started to to evaluate what we should build, actually we listened to the community, listened of course to the partners, and that's what of course we decided upon. So really we are now kicking it off with six extensions basically that will be available latest in Q4 2020. And currently, just to tell you that currently there are about 20 developers working on those various functionalities. These are not core developers, basically not the core developers are working on that, not on all functionalities actually. Of course, there are some plugins that require additional functionalities into the core, and that's of course done by the core developers. But 20 persons work for that, and of course the core team continues to work on the core of Pimcore and Pimcore 7 and all of these things. So I'm proud to present you today basically the 6 modules that we are, or extensions that we are working on. The first one I would like to introduce to you is the portal engine for DAM and PIM. This will truly, I would say, really, this will truly revolutionize product information management and digital asset management, and I will talk about this a little bit later on. Then we talk about product data syndication, so sending the correct data in the correct format to more than 1,500 output channels, such as eBay, such as Walmart, and doing data syndication, sending out product feeds and delivering the right data to the right channel on the right time. Then we will talk about Adobe and Microsoft integration. We will talk about translation management and integration of translations.com. So really to integrate Pimcore within translation memory systems. And in that regard, it's the integration of translations.com. I know some of you system integrators and some of you partners already have other integrations with other translation memory system providers. So I would be happy to know more about them, and it would be awesome if we could bundle basically, or create a bundle together where we put in the right translation providers, and you can earn money from that, and that would be really helpful about in the community. Then I will a little bit talk about desktop file editing. So there is a functionality which is called now desktop file editing, where you can open a Pimcore asset or documents in your desktop operating system, work with that and save it, and it's automatically saved into the Pimcore platform. And the last plugin is the REST API and the REST sync interfaces. That's basically the last on this list now. So this is not basically all the ideas that we have currently. So we're working on a lot of different additional topics basically, but this won't be released till the end of the year. So all of these functionalities will be released till the end of this year. And now I would like to step in and show you a little bit what we are actually working on. The first thing we are working on is the portal engine. And Pimcore. Pimcore is a framework basically that you can build awesome solutions based on the Pimcore framework. So the Pimcore portal engine is an awesome framework for quickly creating customer-facing front-end applications for front-end portals for PIM and DAM applications. So basically, you have an interface. You see it a little bit also already on the left side, where you can really configure portals that rely on the Pimcore data objects and asset objects model, and automatically build asset management portals that you, for example, know from all of those leading DAM applications out there. Let it be Xelom, let it be Binder, and these kind of things. And we looked at all of these toolings basically, and we want to revolutionize this topic basically and have really freely configurable and also changeable, so you can configure and change them. You have access to the source code and can really work and create quickly those PIM and DAM portals. And this of course includes features for advanced features for digital asset management and product information management. You have multiple data pools that you can combine. You have search and you have shopping carts for data, basically collections, dashboards, reporting, and data sharing, and all of these things are basically available. And the most important thing is that we keep it still as a framework. Basically, you can work with, you can really start with, and can modify it to your needs. And then of course, also you can enhance it and also resell it. So basically, it's the basic condition of Pimcore is the same. And as far as I know, so I've been talking with the developers. This is based on, as far as I know now, and Christian is not in the room actually right now, so it's based on Twig, I think, and really core Pimcore functionalities. And yeah, what is also important to understand is that during this topic, or during this development of this portal engine, a lot of core features have also to be introduced. Modifications have to be introduced because we have a different way now of handling asset metadata also in the Pimcore platform, which will be available for the Pimcore Enterprise subscribers. So the Pimcore data model for assets is now more like the data model for data objects, where you can really build your whole interfaces and these kind of things. So you will have an editor basically to build also the front end facing portal engine. And we heard from a lot of agents basically that this will be this was needed really for the last years actually, that we have really a solid front end for DAM and for PIM, and we are sure this will be a game changer. So this is the portal engine, and an alpha, an internal alpha is also ready, and you have like a screen here how it looks like, and this is available in Q4 2020. The next one is the product data syndication. So this was the second most requested feature of all. So the first one was everybody was talking about DAM and PIM front end and customer facing, and this was the second most requested feature, the product data syndication. So to deliver the right product data in the right format to 1,500 different business channels. So we have been working with Products Up in that regards. We have a technology partnership. We have been working with them to really tightly integrate their feature set in our platform. So as far as I know, this will be a natural extension to the Pimcore Data Hub, and it will really tightly be integrated into the Products App platform. So we will have a common offering basically to really have product data syndication on a broad level. With collaboration with Products Up, we will create a dedicated product, the two of us basically, by integrating those services together. And yeah, this feature includes, data integration, standardization, data distribution, and content optimization. All of these topics basically that is additionally to product information management out of the box within the Pimcore platform. The next one is, and that was, this was a feature that was often requested by, ad agencies basically, and digital agencies that really have clients that work with, Microsoft and Adobe products. So we feature an integration, an Adobe and Microsoft DAM integration within all of the product suites of Adobe and Microsoft. So, you can connect basically the Pimcore platform with the so-called CI Hub, and the CI Hub basically is the connector technology basically that is being used, and you can access and search and connect all those assets and documents with Microsoft technologies and Adobe technologies, and this will be available in Q4 2020 and will also enrich our DAM offering. So I see that the maximum amount of connections in the webinar software has been achieved. So, I see there's more interest than expected. We will record that webinar and we will send it out later. So sorry for the inconvenience for people that cannot join and even cannot hear my excuse right now. So the next one is desktop file editing. You see even a video on the screen right now, basically how this looks like. So it integrates Pimcore assets in your Windows and OS X environments, basically. You see it on the screen right now, actually. You simply click on open locally within the Pimcore platform and start editing your assets locally. This is, of course, a huge time saver because you can just click on an asset or on an object relation and these kind of things where you relate an asset or an object and then can really open that up, edit it and then save it basically, and then going back to the Pimcore platform. So now I'm going back to the Pimcore platform and now a new version is being created, and this is the desktop file editing. This is available for Mac OS and this is available for Windows and also Amiga. So this is basically what's talking about in terms of desktop file editing, and that's what's going on in that regards. And you have, of course, a lot of additional features in that in regards, but I will keep on. The last official functionality that I would like to talk about today is the RESTful API and the Sync API. You know that that with Pimcore 7, the existing Pimcore REST APIs will be depreciated and replaced by the Pimcore Data Hub, which is actually powered by GraphQL interfaces. So the GraphQL interfaces is basically the new mainstream format that we will support within the platform. We know and we got approached by a lot of big customers and big installation customers that said, hey, I was betting on the REST interfaces, within Pimcore 5 and also within Pimcore 6, and I would like to continue that. And there are a lot of companies actually that use, or quite a few companies, I would say that way basically, that also use the Sync API so that different Pimcore installations talk to each other. So this will be when Pimcore 7 will be released, we will still continue with the RESTful APIs and the Sync APIs to be available to enterprise subscribers for long-term support and also for the enterprise subscription. So this will be still available for those guys. But in terms of the open source release, we will really concentrate. We want to concentrate on one interface format, and this will bring the future. And this is the GraphQL interface because it's far more flexible, far more intuitive, and far more, future proven. So all of you partners, if you do now start with a project, please utilize the GraphQL interface and the data hub, and and RESTful APIs will be depreciated but still supported and maintained for Pimcore 7 upwards. As long as you have the Pimcore subscription ready. So that's basically the 6 modules we are working on. There are some spectacular things additionally to that, but that I'm not allowed to talk about yet. So we have some amazing collaborations going on with industry leaders in a lot of different segments in terms of deployment technologies and all of these things. So there are a lot of amazing things happening behind the curtain right now. I'll update you as soon as possible, as soon as I have the allowance to do so. But also, please also keep that presentation that I'm just sending to you also confidential. So let's go on. And I'm talking so much, so I even need my 30 minutes almost. So the partner SLA. Most of you know the Pimcore Enterprise subscription, that there's a service level agreement within the Pimcore Enterprise subscription is always combined with a license. We fully understand that this is sometimes not efficient when working with partners because you don't have, you don't need a subscription for every customer of of yours. So we now create, or we will create service level agreements, especially for partners that are all in, basically, that you can utilize for any client or for any problem. So this is support only, and you don't need to purchase an enterprise subscription. And it will be 5 support tickets a year and include 40 hours of support. So pricing will be still worked on together with Gartner in that regards. So we will have a compatible pricing with all our competition, basically. So there's nothing you can be worried about. It will be, in the same pricing structure. Also that support of our competitors, basically. But it will be the partner SLA that you will have access to our core development team in terms of question and in terms of other things. So this is partner SLA. Then I'm proud to go over in the Pimcore Academy. Christian Fasching has been working on, not day and night, but he really has now really gone into that, and he updated actually 17 hours and created and updated 17 hours of videos and created new content. And so will be really, new content will be added all of the time, but you have to check it out right now. There are a lot of new things happening there. And we are currently working on different new chapters, and these chapters will be about advanced personalization. It will feature an e-commerce deep dive. It will feature advanced data objects and also what's new in Pimcore 6.7. So that's what we also would like to integrate there, that you have update from core development teams in terms of new releases. So that's what we offer in terms of the Pimcore Academy. And then last but not least, this is the highlight for each year, basically. Our conference in our alpine style, in our drinking gin together with you, and partying music, and of course educating with Pimcore, having awesome tracks about technology and analysts, and of course awesome case studies, and the whole topic of contributions, and also voting for the best Pimcore partner and the Pimcore extension and the community member of the year. This was always the highlight, and we tried our best, but we are just, this involves a lot of costs, if I tell you. So planning such a conference for 400 people or so is an enormous effort, and it involves costs and time. And in those challenging times where we don't know if there is a second how is it called, a second wave coming, we are frightened in a certain way. So there will be a virtual Inspire conference in autumn 2020. It will most likely be a half-day webinar with different sessions from the core team, with also community sessions, and with the celebrations for partner of the year and also community member of the year. So we try to fit that all in a virtual Pimcore Inspire conference this year, and then already start this year to have really the biggest traditional event to return in 2021. So we are really looking forward to meet you guys, to meet all of you guys, basically in the next year. We have already an agenda. We prepared already an awesome agenda for 2020, and that's what we have to move on in 2021. But with exciting panels, and there are some big things coming up in the world of Pimcore, which will be really game changers, not only in terms of open source, but also in enterprise, in terms of enterprise product information management and master data management, and also in all our product categories, also DXP. So yes, so that's what's going on. Antoine and Christian will keep you updated concerning the Inspire conference. We'll keep you updated in terms of the partner service level agreement. I personally myself will have the next partner update. I will keep you updated about the development of enterprise extensions. Then I will show you the first screenshots and the screen videos on the first alpha or beta versions of the product itself. And then I will have a detailed track about open source development, because that's our foundation. That's our the most important part of Pimcore is being open source. and have attention to that movement. So I will tell you how many people are working on what things and what we are doing in terms of the community edition. And yeah, so that's basically the plan for the next webinar. So this was the partner update for July 2020. Hopefully it was interesting for you. If you have any questions, just write them to us and give us an update. We are working day and night for you guys, or for the whole Pimcore community, of course. We do our best, in terms of open source, but also, of course, in the direction of stabilizing and enriching our commercial ecosystem. What is also important for me to have the funding basically that is needed for successfully developing an open source solution. So if you have any questions via email, please send all your questions to Christian Kempner at partner@pimcore.com. And now I would like to really thank you a lot for your attention. Stay safe, healthy, and bye-bye from the whole Pimcore team. Thank you very much.